thought he did some good things. I think obviously when you look back, you're going to see some missed opportunities, just like for all of us. We're going to miss opportunities in some critical situations, and there's only so many snaps in this game. We got to take advantage of them.
Kellen Moore, after the Saints' loss on Sunday, the 49ers, 26-21. A couple of possessions there in the final 4 minutes of the game. Couldn't go get the game-winning score. Sean Salisbury's with us on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Sports Talk 790 there in Houston, mornings on the Sean Salisbury Show. And if you're not yet, subscribe to Unpaved on YouTube there, weekdays at noon Central. Make sure you get there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sean, you heard what Kellen Moore said there, and it's pretty simple. I mean, you look at PFF, Spencer Rattler was the highest-graded offensive player for the Saints, threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was efficient, but they're not winning games. So how do you start to reconcile what we're watching here with Rattler, where he's not costing you games, but he's not winning you games either?
Yeah, and I'm not comparing him, but that's going on in a few places right now. The Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence up and down, even Mahomes' offense. They look shoddy after 2 weeks. They do. They're not that talented. I know and it's true. We always ask our quarterback, well, take care of your business and play at a high level and elevate everybody around you. I'm not sure the whole kit and caboodle of the offense is capable. I think Rattler's done enough to keep the starting job right now, Matty. I do. Okay. And really going in, what do we expect? You didn't expect much from them this year. That's no excuse. They'll go out and play average and don't close out games. But think about what's happened to them. They've been in position late in the game in both games to win and have not. So is that we're hanging around, it's a good sign, or is it we're hanging around, it's a good sign, but we're just not good enough to close it out, and this is who we are? That's one. He's been accurate. He's protected the football, but they've had drop passes. They've had 3rd and long miscues on drop passes. They've had penalties. They've had missed tackles. In both games, there's been situations where some kind of error with it, whether it's a mature team, and you heard Kellen talk about it, is there's always something in a game that either disrupts a drive or extends a drive for the opposing offense. And it's happened in both weeks. And, they got a backup quarterback, and Mac Jones came in and protected it and was accurate with the football. And he was on I got something to prove mission as well. So I don't think we're at the point yet where it's a guy who's been starting for 3 or 4 years. Remember, it's a whole new system and a whole new coach, a whole new play caller since Kellen Moore is doing that as well. And trying to figure out, okay, how are we doing this? Because the sideways and getting completions, the explosives, where are they? Where are you going to get the 80-yard run at the catch? And they ran the ball pretty well. They did. Yeah. Alvin ran it well. And so they did good things. But the question is it the quarterback holding them back? Or is it the fact that they're just not right now good enough with their bandwidth to expand this and go? I think it's you still ride with Rattler. We went in and I said, man, 2-man competition. He won the job and he's kept it. The whole, but we're a results-oriented league, and potential is one thing. But if you don't get results into 6 weeks, and you say, well, how do we light this fire and find a way to get it? And if they make that decision, we're not ready for that yet. I think he's done a nice job. I do. I also think that they have to get out that Kellen Moore needs to get comfortable, even making them uncomfortable. Where this is what we're capable of, but sometimes we're going to have to attack a different way, and they may have to do that. You may have to come out, run it more protected, kind of like LSU's playing, and hope your defense gets stops. Or on the other side of it, Matty, where you come out and say, you know what, we're going to have to think outside the box formationally and movement and do some different things to create mismatches so we have more spacing so we can do something with the ball after the catch, or so he makes the throw. But it's not just one thing. It's a different position. And it's a different grouping of people that each game they're choosing the wrong time. And unfortunately for them, they're not talented enough as a roster to overcome that. Josh Allen's team, they can miss a few and have, we had 10 penalties in this game. Well, Superman's playing, and he'll find a way to get in his blue and red suit and make it happen. They're not capable of that because they just talent level, but they just don't have as many players. And that's not to say that a certain group of them, but right now there's some good parts, but the sum is just not the same. So is it Rattler that's holding them back from closing? I don't think so. I think there's more, and it's a grouping of them, and they're coming at the wrong time because they have had a chance in both games to close it out, and they haven't been able to. And I know both at home it's frustrating, but I'll be honest with you, man. I think they're actually playing better football for a good portion of the game than I expected them to play so far in 2025. But it all comes down to this. I'd rather have them play ugly and find a way to close it out than hang around but just miss that throw. Drop that ball on 3rd and long to extend a drive. Miss that tackle on 4th and 3 or 3rd and 5 where you miss a tackle for a 2-yard gain and they get in and they extend a drive. So that'll reveal itself as you go on further to say, okay, where is the biggest glaring weakness? Right now, it's a glaring weakness on focus and just being able to do the right thing at the right time as opposed to hitting solo home runs when you're down 9-3 and you make it 9-5. Man, it was close, but they've made it even closer. Hell, they've got within a run at the end, literally in baseball terms, but just haven't been able to push it across when they've had a chance. So I'm still riding with Rattler right now because I think in the losses, he's still gaining confidence, but they're going to have to expand the way they approach it offensively. And Kellen Moore knows how to do that. He's been in some high-powered offenses.
You said so you said something or alluded to it that I think is interesting. Like when you got to be able to finish. I mean, look, the average margin in an NFL game is like 3.5 points, right? I mean, it's like
right.
It's hard to win in the NFL. So I'm wondering, Sean, like maybe this is where I'd have to ask you about like the psychology of a locker room. Like, San Francisco is playing a backup quarterback, but that's a team that's used to winning football games. So in the final 4 minutes, when the Saints had 2 possessions, I don't think anybody on that San Francisco defense thought for a millisecond they were going to lose that game. Flip side of it is, I don't know that anybody on the Saints team, I mean, Sean, for all we thought of Peyton and Breeze, like, it's been 5 years. I mean, the Saints have missed the playoffs 4 straight years. The last time they made the playoffs was the COVID year. Like, nobody on this team, nobody on this team is used to winning. So, how much? I mean, take me inside of a locker room with the psychology of like expecting to win and building a. I know we throw in the cliche like a winning culture, but it's hard for me to dismiss that, man. When you have these opportunities late in game and you go 3 and out, and then you strip sack, fumble, and game over on 2 possessions in the final 4 minutes.
Been fortunate to be on really good teams that knew how to win, and been on teams that weren't sure how, and they're both contagious. That's a fact, Matty. It just is. And I've spent a lot of time discussing the psychology of this, and I've been on teams, and I'm guilty of it. On a team, when you're a couple injuries, your team wasn't as good as you expected it to be, and then it's late, and you're standing on the sidelines waiting for your possession, and you're thinking to yourself, please don't let us find a way to lose this game. And I'm just and anybody that tells you that, well, no, man, I always every time I go out, I know we're winning. No, Scotty Scheffler expects to win.
Yeah.
When you're playing against an opponent, they're hoping to beat you. I even heard one this weekend in a tournament say, "I just wish Scotty Scheffler wasn't here because it gives the world a better chance." Yeah. And they feel like when he's playing well, you're playing for second place and damn near are. But you are 100%. The culture in there, you're looking for reasons, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't care what anybody says, whether you call it karma in life or self-fulfilling. I've been on teams where it's been, and then there's the opposite. Okay, we're struggling. They will get a stop, and we will find a way. And I know it's cheesy because you can't just – it's not – I mean, you may play the Powerball numbers, but you don't get to win them unless you're fortunate enough to win them. Right. Same thing here. But you've got to put yourself in position to do it. And that goes with the practice week. Matty, put it this way. If your culture is or your thought process is, we'll turn it on game day, this is where we turn it around. You're late to the party. It's got to be that. Here's how the Texans, just to localize it here as well. Yep. They're going through that. They don't know how to win right now. Yep. And they're getting to a point. They've been inside the red zone with a chance to win 2 games and haven't got to stop with a great defense and can't close it out with an offense. So they're questioning themselves. Yet they've had back-to-back division titles. So you're right. And absolutely. And then at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 veterans, man, we win here. Breeze is here. Kamara's here. Michael, those. And it's like, no. The option isn't hopefully we'll win. The option is give me the ball last. We're going to go win. And when you do it, I asked Elway this years ago, if I got a second to share this with you, Matty.
Please, hopefully. Absolutely.
And I'll hurry. I asked him, John and I were at his golf event years ago, and we were sitting and having a beer. And I don't know if I've ever told you the story. And I literally asked him, and this isn't just the quarterback, but for him, because, Matty, you remember it was at the time when he'd had like 40 comebacks, right? And here I am, I'm a quarterback, and John's my buddy, and he's always, I've been able to play against him twice and beat him, but I wasn't Elway. But I always said, well, John, what is it that you can be playing an average game statistically? And I said, I want to know why that when there's a minute 30 to go and it's been one of those games, why do you always respond, you and your team? What is it? And I'm thinking I'm going to get a scientific answer. Well, Sean, we worked on this on Tuesday, and He said this, and it was this simple, Matt. And I'm telling you, damn near to the verbiage verbatim. He said, well, Sean, I remember it happened one time, and everybody's excited, and then it happened a second time. He goes, and the third time came around, we got in a huddle, they just expected it. We just expected that we were going to go down, including him, and I expected we're going to win. And I know that sounds so too easy, but he was talented players around him. But it got to the point where when they were on the sidelines, they weren't saying, please, I hope John pulls this off. They were on the sidelines saying, can't wait till John gets the ball and our offense pulls this off. And that was his simple explanation. I'm saying, John, that easy? I wish it was that easy for the rest of us, right? I was playing against him in Denver. I ended up being the player of the week. It's not a pat on the back, but I knew I was up against it. We came from behind. We're beating them in their building. And all of a sudden, they get the ball back with about 1:30 to go. And Matty, I'm telling you, he's driving down again. And I'm like, I looked at him, I'm saying, you got to be kidding me. We came from behind. I'm getting to beat Elway in his own game in Denver. Don't let this happen. It was a snowstorm. It was crazy. It was a great game. And John's taking him down. And I said, no, not today. Not today. And I expected him against our great defense. We had Millard. We had Chris Dolman. Yeah. We had John Randall. We had like 6 Hall of Famers. And goes down there. He's taking him down. They cross midfield. He throws a little option route to Glenn Milburn. One of our linebackers hits him, lays it on the ground. We recover. After I passed out on the sidelines, I got to go in and kneel down. But that's what they got. And the Saints are a ways away from getting that. But the culture is built by doing it, not by talking about it. And it starts on a practice field. Like I said, if you're on Saturday thinking about it and haven't worked on it Monday through Friday, you're in trouble. But when you get there, and then when it happens once and it happens twice. Last night, I'm telling you, when Baker Mayfield got the ball back, I said to myself, the Texans are in trouble.
Yep.
And he will, and it is. And then there's teams, and you look at it and say, they've gotten no shot right now. So whether they're thinking it or not, the practice it and play it. What happens is you have it like anything else, Matty. Anything you do or I do, you start doing it well and repeating it. The people around you say, well, he's going to get it done again. Hell, they expect great radio and great when you're on. They just do because they've seen it a million times. Same thing there. And they've got to get to that. But the only way they get to it is by winning those close ones and changing that narrative and shifting those paradigms as opposed to letting this keep happening. Because the more you keep losing close ones, the more it'll build up, say, here we go again. It happens all the time.
Matt, I could listen to you talk forever. We got to run. I appreciate
You're the only one, but thanks, brother.
You know that's a factual inaccuracy right there. Sean Salisbury, get him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Hey, man, we'll do it again next week. Thank you.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Always a pleasure to be on with you.
Thanks, man. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.